I got a mess here. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Are there any announcements? Not hearing any, I'll move on. John, who's with us electronically? Pretty quiet today, okay. I would like to make a motion to approve the agenda. Yes, sir, did I miss something?
Mr. President, I'd like to add all the items if I could.
Yes, sir, please.
Actually, I think it's 3.
Mine is included in yours and maybe 2, but okay.
Oh, that's
great.
right, that's what Susanna sent. Yeah, I want to hear all about that.
A beaver control cost share grant
Oh, okay,
and Weber Pond outlet.
okay. What do you want to put that under, managers or? Let's let's go ahead and put that under manager. Okay. What is it? What are the other items?
Under attorney, if you could add a discussion of permit 2026-04.
Okay. That's this issue. Susanna sent us all the email.
Correct.
Okay, we'll see what's going on there. And then the third item is?
Oh, that's it.
That's it, okay. Okay, very good. So we'll add those with those items. I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
So moved and seconded.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
It is approved. Those items are with us. Public forum. Anybody wishing to speak? Any vertebrate creatures out there? Nope. Okay. Not hearing anything. We'll move on. Public, oh, okay. Public hearing, the draft of 2026-2035 Valley Branch Watershed District Management Plan. We can go ahead and talk about that.
You have a script.
Yes, ma'am.
And before you get to that, I just want to apologize again for the delay in having this public hearing at this meeting rather than the last meeting. I take full responsibility for that and I apologize.
Miss Tori, that's fine. We get it. It's okay. Okay, so I have my script here. I'll go ahead and use that. Wow, this is long. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Just read it directly off the script. Nobody fall asleep, please. I call to order the public hearing of the Valley Branch Watershed District on March 2026 at
7-3.
yes, 7:03 at Baytown Town Hall. This public hearing has been noticed to all plan review authorities consistent with Minnesota statutes. Statutes 103B.231. The purpose of this public hearing is to receive public comment on the draft 2026 to 2035 Valley Branch Watershed District Watershed Management Plan prepared pursuant to Minnesota Statute Section 103B.231. Before we begin, I would like to explain the public hearing procedures. Comments should be directed to the board as a whole. Speakers are asked to state their name and affiliation, if any, for the record. Comments may be time limited to ensure everyone has an opportunity to speak. The board may ask clarifying questions, but will generally not engage in debate. At this time, Mr. Greg Williams of Bar Engineering Company will provide an overview of the draft plan, including its significant issues, goals, and implementation actions. Okay. I will now open the public comment period and invite speakers to come forward or indicate their intent to speak if attending remotely.
We'll just turn it over to Mr. Williams.
Hit it.
Thank you.
Okay.
This presentation will also be given to the Bowser Metro Region Subcommittee, so this is a little bit of a trial run.
Oh, yes.
John, would you do the honors of the slides? Brief agenda, I'll be discussing the plan update process and the engagement that was performed as part of that plan update. A brief summary of the document itself, highlighting key updates from your last plan. Summarize the plan review and approval process that is ongoing right now. And we will hear public comments from anybody should they be here. They could still show up. Yeah.
Sure.
The plan update process is generally a three-stage process. The first being information gathering and engagement of stakeholders. Using that information, you developed your draft plan, and then it was submitted for a formal 60-day review process. You responded to the comments received from the 60-day review. We are now hosting a public hearing during that process as required by statute, after which the plan will be submitted for another 90-day review, including that subcommittee meeting, and it'll be presented to the Bowser board for them to either approve or deny.
Okay.
Our partner engagement steps included a plan update notification that went to all your cities, townships, counties, SWCDs, the adjacent watershed management organizations, Metropolitan Council, and the state review agencies. For example, Pollution Control Agency, DNR, Minnesota Department of Transportation. We also sent a questionnaire specifically to the cities and townships that focused a little bit on how their working relationship with you in the areas where they saw the district potentially expanding roles or contracting roles. We took that information through a manager issue identification workshop a few years ago. Following that, we had online survey. We advertised that at a few community events, all culminating in the public kickoff meeting, December of 2023. After which you prioritized issues for to lead into the plan development process. This is a couple pictures from that public kickoff meeting, and it was a dot voting exercise where people could identify what their priorities were, and that was considered in the development of the plan itself. The plan document is 5 main sections: an introduction, a discussion of your issues and goals, a discussion of your implementation programs and capital improvement projects, a land and water resources inventory that provides summary of the natural resources and the conditions and physical characteristics of your watershed, and then a section that has sub-watershed summaries. Now that section is condensed significantly relative to the 2015 plan, and a lot of the information that was previously contained in those sub-watershed sections is now included by reference. Your priorities are very similar to the 2015 plan. The highest priorities being surface water quality, and then water quantity, flood risk, and climate resiliency. Medium priorities being stormwater management, groundwater, and wetlands. And then your lower priorities, uplands and natural areas. We went through and we reevaluated your priority water bodies with respect to water quality focus. Many of those stayed the same. But some ponds were elevated, including H.J. Brown Pond, for example. There's a few highlighted in red there that were not prioritized previously. They were not identified as water bodies that the district would take an active management role in. And then there's some other water bodies that we put them in a category called legacy water bodies, where they don't meet the current criteria that you established for water bodies that you manage, but we recognize the district has spent a significant effort historically to keep track of those water bodies, and so we don't want to lose that. So that's why they are termed legacy water bodies. We established key goals that addressed some evolving issues. Some of the ones that are particularly notable are related to understanding the condition of your watershed and water bodies relative to chloride pollution, and seeking opportunities to reduce chloride use in partnership specifically with the cities and townships and other folks who use a lot of chlorides, particularly for winter de-icing. Other goals related to identifying water bodies that are susceptible to flood risk under anticipated future precipitation conditions, and emphasizing promote the use of practices that would reduce those impacts. Increasing the use of water conservation practices from landowners, and implementing some district-led either reuse or groundwater conservation projects. Those are some new areas. The implementation program is very much an evolution of what you are already doing, building on your current successes. There are some new activities, some more formal coordination with partner organizations. Downs Lake water quality improvement, some chloride loading and land use study, municipal chloride cost share program, climate resilience study, focusing on what future precipitation trends will mean for flooding and priority areas within your watershed, looking at some groundwater surface water interaction, and then those conservation or reuse projects as noted. The pie chart on the right shows how your planned expenditures over the next 10 years are distributed among your different program areas. This is similar to the last plan, not that different. However, I think the inspection and maintenance component has increased a little bit, partly because you have done more projects, and as you continue to do more improvements, those also need to be maintained. Your monitoring has decreased a little bit, and the project component is still by far the largest portion, but it's not the majority of your spending, but it is the single largest area of your spending. The plan review process in November, we submitted the plan for its formal 60-day review. You responded to those comments in February, the 12th and 26th of March, holding public hearings as required by the statute. And then ideally still in late March, we will submit the plan for its 90-day review. This is the part where we would ask that many people who are attending to share their thoughts. Hearing none.
Hearing none, we can continue. Thank you. This typically happens. Do I return to the script? Okay, very good. Thank you. I will now open the public comment period and invite speakers to come forward or indicate their intent to speak if attending remotely. Nothing. Okay. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak? Okay. Seeing no further comments, I will now close the public comment period. Okay. The board will consider the comments received and take action on the watershed management plan at a future meeting or later on the agenda as appropriate. I formally close this public hearing. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Now what do we do? All right.
Did a good job, Greg. Nobody commented.
Someday somebody will show up and I will regret wishing anybody.
It happens. When the weather gets warmer, stuff happens. Okay, so we've squared that away. The public hearing draft. Now we go to the consent calendar. Are there any items?
Was there more
Did I
that
miss
you
anything?
needed Authorization to revise the draft plan? I'm just seeing that on your memorandum.
The comment period?
Yeah, I didn't look at the agenda. I wasn't sure if that was anywhere later on the agenda or not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In the script, it
responses,
says,
yeah.
At a later meeting or later in the agenda, but I didn't actually check the agenda to see where it falls.
I apologize. Mr. President, on
Yes, sir.
the blue box on the memo.
Yeah.
That's second item then. If you could do that.
Yeah, to hold a public hearing,
Yep.
authorize Bard to revise the draft plan, that?
Yes.
Okay, the comments and discussion of the public hearing, if applicable. Right? Okay. Do the managers have any comments on this?
Oh,
Looks good. Yeah, yeah.
Was there any comment at the last meeting? Okay,
We didn't get, thank
Perfect.
you, thank you. So we would authorize Bar, we don't need a motion on this, correct? We can just direct you to revise the draft plan consistent with the responses to the comments and discussion at the public hearing applicable, and resubmit the plan to the Board of Water and Soil Resources for the 90-day review. Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Please follow up. Thank you, Craig. Are you done with us or are you
I think
gonna?
that's all I've got.
Oh, wonderful. Okay,
Have a great evening.
thank you. And thank you for making it. Okay. With that said, let's go to the safe drive.
Thank you.
The consent calendar. Do the managers have any item they would like to pull to have further comment or questions on?
Mr. President, one suggestion for the managers to consider page 3, line 102. I believe more than Vice President Para discussed that, so I guess I suggest that I just say the manager suggested that Ms. Thompson.
Yes, sir. Yes. What I wanted to add to that was when, because, I mean, it's not so chaotic or anything, but when someone makes a particular suggestion, one thing that maybe I'm not doing correctly is I say, oh yeah, let's try that. But it would be better to formally ask our visitors to do something that we may require or suggest. So I'll follow up with that. But thank you. Yeah, we'll make that general statement. That way we're all covered because I think everybody was kind of alluding to that on that last one. Thank you, sir. Okay, with that correction squared away, not hearing anything further, I would like to make a motion to approve the consent calendar. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded.
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Okay. It is approved. Okay, updates and requests from the Volunteer Citizen Advisory Committee, nothing. Business and reports, 2025 Valley Branch Watershed District monitoring results and recommended 2026 water quality monitoring. Let's get into this. First of all, John, this is excellent. This is a lot of work. And we get a trend and if I can generalize, it looks like things are going well with regards to water quality overall. And no flooding, but the lakes have remained below the yes, sir, below their flood level, without a doubt. Yeah, exactly. So with that said, please lead us into this.
President managers, the first part of this is the memo that was included in the packet that suggests proposed 2026 monitoring plan. The plan is consistent with your 10-year plan and with your health. Okay, so if you have any questions, I can try to answer those. But the table 3 on page 6 of the memo kind of lays out the details of the various monitoring programs and estimated costs, and then also the 2026. There's one other noteworthy thing that's a little bit different from last year. Well, first of all, the report is a little bit different than last year. Last year it was only in water quality. This year we moved a lot of information that had been in the report as far as water levels and precipitation and groundwater. We moved that information to this report and are calling that a monitoring report. Seems like that makes a little bit more sense to say one report rather than multiple reports.
Yes, sir. That's a good idea.
Attached to the memo are a couple basic highlights of the monitoring results that we thought could be useful if we gave this information to Amy Hong and she could spit it up and use it in some of her promotion, her articles, for her various social media. So there's one on chlorides within Valley Branch Watershed District, one on Goose Lake's water quality and the progress that's early indications there. Another one on Silver Lake's water quality and the good news there that it's recovered from its poor water quality days. And then one on understanding E. coli. Thought that those might be some topics that managers might want to consider highlighting.
That's a really good idea. We can't get enough. This education. We just have to do it. So yeah, those are brilliant and I would like to see those incorporated into what NG Hong might do for us. Do you
Comment?
have any others? Yes, sir,
Yeah.
please.
On the chloride one, it's, as I read through it, it seemed like it's really focused towards residents, which is valuable and important. And I think it would be useful to have one that is focused on businesses. So, to talk about, they can reduce their costs of laying down chloride if they, and at the same time, help the environment. And, talk about it from that perspective. I think that would be really useful.
Commercial properties.
Yeah, commercial.
That's a great suggestion, and I think it'd be easy to have two separate documents or merge them in one.
Great. Yeah, I think a lot of it applies. It's just a matter of just adding some specific things that are for, for
Business.
private, business owners and so on.
Right. Observations indicate that, and this is what we see, this is what I see, not so much residential as it is. Well, certainly I don't walk up to people's houses, but many commercial, I haven't said anything to anybody. I want to be careful with that. But yeah, I see a lot of that laid out.
Places where you're crunching as you go up to
Yeah,
enter,
yeah.
crunching this.
In our building, we backed off on that in our building. You just go, hey, do we need all that? You're tracking it in the building and you're damaging, the carpeting, the tile, all that stuff. So, yeah,
And
thank you.
It's an educational thing, it's, they say that you gotta hear something 12 times before you really kind of remember it. And the more we can get it in front of people, the better off. I think we're.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be focusing more and more on this, everything we do. If it doesn't already have it, we want to add an educational component to it because it's gonna make a difference. Everybody has to know. Even if they get bored with it, they have to know. This is becoming more and more serious. Okay. Are there any? Yes, sir, please.
I just had a question on the Goose Lake alum treatment. The second one, do we have a schedule for that? I just kind of like to go out and see the boat.
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
President Marshawn, Manager Armstrong, it's tentatively planned for the first week in May.
Okay.
As long as I'm talking about upcoming events before I forget.
Yeah.
The homes on Legion Pond,
Yeah.
the Lake Elmo Fire Department is planning to do that April 4th. I think that's Saturday, first Saturday in April. So
That's next weekend. Yeah. Wow. And that's all. Have they given us any notification? I don't know if we really need much of anything.
I think they have, and so we're aware of it, and they're in charge of notifying all the neighbors of that. Our staff plan to be on site to do some drone footage and that stuff.
Oh, nice touch. You gentlemen, got any ideas?
Rick's the drone guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
What do you think?
I think Bar is licensed to do that.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, I have a
Wanna lose your
license,
drone?
but not a commercial one.
Oh, okay. I had no idea.
Yeah, well, they would be upset if I were to try to fly there.
Wow. One other, is there anything further with the sheriff's department on anything?
Mr. President, the timing does not work for them to work on
Okay.
the Sunnybrook Lake home. And it's still questionable whether it'll work on the Legion Pond home. So
Okay,
one decision's been made, the other one's still being discussed.
okay, but once they take that off, obviously, they remove those, the sheriff's department's not gonna,
Well, the home that the sheriff's department would like to use is the Winkles home, and that they won't be vacating that until the summer.
oh, interesting, okay, all right. Yeah. All right, good enough. Yes, sir.
Probably doesn't matter unless this table is used elsewhere, but on table 2, I believe the right-hand column might be mislabeled. It says proposed 2025.
So,
Yeah, so
2026,
like I
yeah.
said, it doesn't matter unless this is used elsewhere, but yeah.
Right. In all of those, yeah.
And then I guess one other comment, with the table and the proposed monitoring. You might recall that our gentleman, Scott, Renstrom attended a meeting a few months ago. He and his son purchased a large parcel on the
Right.
right side of Clear Lake. And Kevin Mankin, who prepared this memo for you, had reached out to Mr. Renstrom, I think is
Right.
that was his name, to see if he'd be interested in doing some volunteer monitoring on Clear Lake.
Oh, not
Quality there.
a bad idea.
Since it seemed like he was interested in that when he attended the meeting. Fortunately, he didn't get back to Kevin until after this memo had been produced.
Right, but
But he did get back and he is interested. And we expect that if the managers would like him to do that monitoring, work with the son to do that monitoring, that would add approximately $1,000 by the time you get the equipment from the Met Council and do the lab analysis and all of that. So if the managers would like Clear Lake North to be monitored, take that into account.
Is there-
Motion or,
is there any concern for liability regarding anything that he's going to be doing?
nothing in addition to all the other volunteers that monitor water
Okay.
quality for Valley Branch.
I don't want him getting
The-
stuck in some serious
the-
waters.
The Watershed District works with the Met Council through this, it's called the Citizen Assisted Monitoring Program, or CAMP.
Okay,
And been using that program for probably 20 years now.
okay. Does he get paid anything or nothing at all? Okay, excellent.
So that would be $2,000 for that line item rather than one.
So. What that means would be, no, camp administration would stay the same. It goes into the. I think the way Kevin has this broken up is that even though it's volunteers, it would go to that first line item with Washington Conservation District labor, because we rely on the Washington Conservation District to coordinate volunteers.
I see. Okay.
Just very quickly, I want to just touch on something. Counselor, there's a concern for potential liability, somebody getting hurt or, this sort of stuff. That's never been brought up. That's not an issue. And we're protected, I assume. I'm all for it. I'm just thinking if, with what's happening these days, that
I can confirm with.
I've been stuck in my
Washington
butt.
Conservation District. I think the volunteers sign a
waiver?
I'd be curious to know, I would guess that they signed something, that they are assuming any risks.
if it's not too much trouble, a little inquiry, maybe, perhaps.
This is through, what county?
Nobody's seen
The
it.
Conservation District.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's nothing to it. I just wanna make sure. I don't want to turn it into some big issue.
I will do that.
Thank you very much, Counselor. Okay, very good, sir. So we're squared away on that. Clearly, you're way ahead of me on all this stuff that we're doing regarding what we need monitored. And it's on track with what we're doing. So I also looked at, which is pretty obvious, the amounts, and these fall within our budget. The only thing we might have to tweak is the basin water quality monitoring total and allocate funds to the bottom section so that we're covered, but conveniently it falls right with the budget, so we're
Yes,
okay there.
so including Clear Lake, it might be slightly over the budget.
Oh,
It's still
okay.
very close.
$1,000 is worth it. And we make a friend with Mr. Renstrom. I hope. Okay. With that said, are there any further comments or concerns that the managers have? All had a chance to look at this. And it jives with what we're doing.
Mhm.
So I would like to go ahead and make a motion to approve the proposed 2026 water quality monitoring activities listed in tables 2 and 3. And approve I don't have to do two motions, do I? Okay,
There's one.
approve the public outreach and other activities listed in this memo. Do I have a second?
Second.
So moved and seconded.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
do we need to say something about adding the $1,000? to it?
Thank you for bringing that up.
Mhm.
That would probably be a good idea. In
Mhm.
addition to, an addendum for that, motion to, have a Clear Lake monitored as well.
Mhm.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
bringing that up.
Mhm.
We don't want to miss anything. Okay, so moved and seconded.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
that is approved. Okay. Excellent. Now, 2026 goals and initiatives. What are we gonna do there?
So, Mr. President, each year, the Watershed District needs to develop some goals and initiatives, and these get included in your annual report. That annual report is due through the state by the end of April. So what I did is went through your 2026 budget and things that you've talked about and included them in the same format as how you've seen this in the last several years. Laid out in categories of water quantity goals, water quality goals, monitoring goals, inspection, maintenance goals, education goals, regulatory planning, and administrative goals. So I'll get them in. Concur with these, we'll get them included in the end report that you'll see likely at your next meeting as a draft before getting approval to send it off to the state. If you would like changes to this, be nice to have those changes made tonight so that we can include those in the draft.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Oh, okay. There it is. I have that. Forgive me. I completely agree with this. This is what we want to do. And who gets this?
Mr. President, this gets included in your annual report, and so then it goes off to Bowser, Board of Water and Sewer Resources, the DNR, and I think it's just supposed to DNR and Bowser.
Couple of comments when you're ready.
Yeah.
On line 19, talking about wildflower shores, wetland bank. It seems like we talked about continuing to look for additional opportunities for new wetland banking opportunities. And if we could add that into that item, I think that would be useful. If other managers
Yes.
agree.
Yes, Rick, thank you. We need to add that.
Okay. And then to my previous comment, line 35, if we could add after residents, businesses, so that we're also outreach to businesses.
Yes, okay, we are doing that according to this. That's just a generalization, right?
That was line 35, right?
Yes.
Okay,
That's it for me.
thank you, sir. So with regards to that, our engineering is gonna be at the forefront for this, the pursuit of these opportunities.
Specifically for 18.
Yeah. On communications.
I guess it seems to me that the way we find a wetland banking opportunity is to just recognize it. And a lot of that does kind of fall onto VAR in terms of knowing what is happening on the ground, or the inspector to, to
Right.
know about it. That way, if those if people are aware of it and they see, oh, that might be an area where we could, add wetland banking. I think that's where we're really at. I don't think we're, necessarily doing a rigorous search for banking opportunities, but to identify stuff as it comes along, that seems like the best way to.
Yes, sir, that's something.
And Mr. President, Manager Government, there are different approaches that you could do. You could do watershed district-wide GIS exercise to look at the soils and
Mhm.
general hydrology and particle information
Mhm.
in order to get a wetland bank for states certified by the Army Corps of Engineers, it means to basically be able to drain to the St. Clair River. So
Mhm.
landlocked basins probably don't, they changed the rules a lot.
Uh-huh.
But the land areas that are landlocked tend not to be able to be certified by the Corps. They could still be wetland banks. It's just that if somebody needs wetland replacement and it's in an area that does drain to the St. Croix, they have to find those kind of credits too. So,
I see.
and then typically it needs to be at least 10 acres in size to be worthwhile to do. Although we are looking at the homes that are being removed on Legion Pond to try to expand the shoreline basically of Legion Pond and create some wetland there that may or may not be bankable. It's going to be less than 10 acres,
Mhm.
but we are continuing to look at that.
Okay.
That's what
There are
we're
different
talking about.
approaches. You can do the
Exploring.
as they come to you almost, or as you find them through other activities,
Mhm.
or it can be proactive and do a mapping.
Yeah,
Exercise.
you know, I can see some real value in doing the mapping, because then it kind of gives you a checklist of, oh, am I in one of the areas where, you know, this would be a valid area for banking? And we've got that information and can,
Well-
you know, kind of use it in.
And that falls on what we've done earlier, which at this point, it doesn't have, much of an impact. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me, outside of awareness with, the creation of, more and more impervious surfaces in our watershed district. Sooner or later, that's going to, trigger something so that we can do something about it or be more proactive in dealing with it as it increases, because I believe it's going to. We're not, yes, sir.
I just wonder if you, be worth just planting a seed with Jay Riggs. And I mean, he's our guy.
Yep.
And he knows the watershed, and just let him know that if he sees something that looks like it makes sense, because he would be able to understand what makes sense and what doesn't. Just let us know, just maybe.
Yeah, he's aware. We
Okay,
have
yeah.
these discussions. Not on a regular basis, but frequently.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we really need some wetland banks and valley drainage because people are impacting wetlands, but then they're doing the replacement out west of the Twin Cities.
Okay, so he's already.
He's aware of it. It's
Okay.
just, it's really hard to find these parcels that
Yeah.
are going to work.
I would think, yeah. Mr. Bill, do you have anything?
I do not.
Okay, very good, sir. So with that said, we could just direct you to do this.
Yes, so Mr. President, we'll take the comments that we see tonight, update the rules or the goals, and that'll get included in the draft annual report that you'll see soon.
Very good, sir. Simple enough. Okay. Excellent. That's squared away. Now, attorney.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
The only item I have for you tonight is the item that Suzanne, Attorney Torseth, emailed to you earlier today. Don't know if you've had an opportunity to review it. If not, that's okay. I've given you all a packet tonight too with the information that she sent to you via email. The background is listed there, but I'll repeat it now.
Please.
Ultimately, the property has an existing easement on it. But the property owner, the permit holder, which was just granted now in 2026-04. The project that they're looking to do is to combine lots 1 and 2 and have a new plat. And they're also hoping to have a new easement put in place in that new platting process. And the reason this is being brought to you tonight is because they're hoping to do that new plat next week. So if the district is comfortable moving forward with the changes, which we'll talk about in a second here, they're hoping to get this done sooner than later. So the two main issues for you to consider tonight are, number one, the maintenance agreement. The city of Afton is requesting to be added to the agreement as a third party beneficiary. Attorney Torseth has reviewed the language that they want to incorporate and does not have an issue with it. Ultimately, the city is just looking to have the right to enforce our maintenance agreement. They don't have the right to force us to enforce our agreement. They just have their own right to go after after the property owner enforced the agreement themselves.
That is truly fortuitous. We like that.
Yeah, so that's the maintenance agreement part of it. The
Okay.
second part of it is related to the easement. So again, there's an easement in place from 2021. And what they're asking for tonight is that we release them from that easement because they're going to have a new easement that complies with the watershed rules and that be instituted in their new plat.
Okay, that's nice.
So Attorney Torseth has reviewed all the materials and has prepared additional documentation for you tonight.
Yeah.
We have a resolution for you to vacate or release the easement. We have a release of easement. Both of those documents would be, if you approve, would be signed tonight by President Marchand and Secretary Brock.
Okay,
And then the second motion just deals with the maintenance agreement approving that language. Again, big picture, we've got a maintenance agreement change and an easement change. Attorney Torseth has drafted two proposed motion language here, and we would like them to be done separately just because they are dealing with different things.
right.
I would just note that for proposed motion 1, you are also making a motion to adopt resolution. And Engineer Hanson, can you remind me what resolution number we're on? Is it 1 or 2?
I'll look that up and get back to you.
Perfect. So that could also be incorporated in motion language, the resolution number. Any questions about this? And again, if you're not comfortable voting on this tonight, you certainly don't have to. You can wait until the next meeting and Attorney Torseth speaks over it with you in more detail. But the property owner is hoping to have an action on this.
How did the managers, how do the managers feel about this?
I'm okay with it.
I'm slightly.
It seems like
befuddled,
we,
yeah.
we end up with updated maintenance agreements, which I think is.
It benefits us,
Yeah.
yeah.
Our easement.
So to me, the only thing I'm looking for is language for the motion.
So I think when we have that resolution number, that very first motion could be changed to say approve resolution number 2026-0, what number it is, releasing the land legally described as. So just adding that resolution part right there in the very beginning. And this is page 2 of the memorandum that Attorney Torseth prepared.
Okay. Recommendation, okay, proposed motion. Here we are, right in front of me. Okay, so I can make a motion here. I'm going to use this verbiage. So I will make a motion to approve releasing the land legally described as Lot 2, Block 1, Afton Business Park, Washington County, Minnesota, from the surface water drainage easement recorded in the office of the Washington County Recorder as document number 4331046, and authorize myself and Secretary Brock to execute the release of land from easement.
And to approve resolution number
Oh, and to approve resolution number 2026
-02.
-02. Okay, I was gonna get that wrong. All right then, do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
that is approved.
Thank you. I'll
Now-
have this signed. I'll bring this to you to sign at the end of the meeting.
Thank you. Now, do we have another item or, okay?
Second motion, please.
Okay, so I propose, I will move to approve the proposed language adding the city of Afton as a third-party beneficiary to the stormwater maintenance agreement for permit 2026-02.
04.
Oh, 04. Okay, I thought it was the same, sorry. Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
it is approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's
Thank
it for my report tonight.
Mr. President, as I was looking for the resolution number, I think it who seconded the first motion.
I did.
Thank you.
Right, thank you. Excellent, thank you. And thank you for your help, Counselor. Oh, my goodness. Okay. All right, our inspector is not here, but just a curiosity. Are there any updates by chance regarding his position? Have we heard anything from anybody?
Mr. President, Josh Phillips, Inspector Brower, and I met with Jay Riggs and Aaron DeRusha at Washington Conservation District last Friday, and it's a positive meeting. They do have capacity to work with the Watershed District. They do similar work for several other watershed districts, including the Washington County portion of Rice Creek Watershed District, some of the other northern watershed districts in Washington County, and they also work with Cottage Grove in the city of Woodbury. There might even be some reduction in almost duplicate efforts. It's not necessarily duplicate, but because they do work with city of Woodbury, and there's a portion of Woodbury and Valley Ranch Watershed District, might be able to just expand a little bit of their inspections that they do, and so there'd be a cost savings between the two entities for doing that work. So we plan to get a proposal in front of the board for the next meeting.
Okay. Do they do anything for South Washington Watershed District?
South Washington Watershed District doesn't typically issue permits. They submit comments to their cities, and then the cities issue.
Was the subject of meeting attendance at all brought up in that meeting?
Yes, did talk about that. They would be willing to come to a meeting at least once a year. And if there's a controversial issue, something like that, to attend the meeting, but they otherwise would prefer to rely on their reports submitted to the managers, and then if the managers have comments, either contact them directly or come through engineering and the answers that way.
So very quickly, to understand the mechanism here, something comes up like a permit request, and we go out and inspect. We send them out, and so it's triggered by our engineering, and then you ask something of them, what it is they're going to do, correct?
So the primary role would be to inspect projects that have been permitted by the watershed district. So once the watershed district permits a project, then we send them information, the grading plans, erosion control plans. Include them or get their contact information to the contractor, the developers doing the work, so that they're included in the pre-construction meeting. So they meet everybody and know who the players are, and then they fit it into their schedule, just like Inspector Brower to visit the site as needed. So if it's not a high priority, not near a high priority water body, and it's pretty slow in how the activity is going, they're not creating a lot of imperviousness, they're not doing a lot of grading, then it's not going to be inspected very frequently. But if it's a project right next to Lake Elmo or one of the Tri-Lakes that has a lot of imperviousness and potential for a lot of problems, then they're going to look at it. But their primary purpose is really to inspect projects that have been approved through the permitting process.
They're not going to be involved in any, where bar engineering is involved with somebody who has a proposal or has a lot of questions. They're only called upon when we need them.
Yeah, I mean, that's typical now. I mean,
Okay.
If people have a question about, do I need a permit? What kind of rules and regs are there? That comes to bar engineering. Jeff might get those questions, but it really comes to bar engineering.
Got it.
We're the ones that enforce your rules.
Okay. Simple enough. Do you have anything, Rick?
Yeah. In terms of viewing this as a temporary situation as opposed to kind of a permanent role that Washington Conservation District could be playing, I think we want to, we would want to, at least I would want to see it kind of be that we would look for a full-time person.
Yes, sir. I totally agree with that. Yeah. That we're gonna look for.
So we did talk about that too. And we'll talk about that in a
Sure.
But just for staffing perspective, which I totally understand from Washington Conservation District's perspective, they would like the agreement to be for a full construction season.
Mm-hmm.
And then it can be evaluated next year if Valley Branch has its own contract staff person doing the work, or if you want to go back to the conservation district. They don't want to agree for something for like 2 weeks and then it's somebody else. And that makes sense from both a staffing perspective and to learn Valley Branch's system and how we post information to our website that you're not aware of, but Jeff's aware of, and he posts photos if he's out there doing inspection, and just, it wouldn't be efficient use of Valley Branch's money if we're having to train in multiple people frequently. And then from their perspective, they don't want to staff up to help Valley Branch, and then that work goes by.
That seems fair.
Simple enough. Excellent. So we look forward to that. Thank you, sir. Okay. Now, managers, before anything else comes up, this rodent control, what's going on?
So, Mr. President, managers, you might recall you have a beaver removal cost share program. And over the weekend, a landowner on the South Fork of Valley Creek contacted me. His name is Brandon Smith, and he would like to participate in that program. I handed out a copy of what that program's all about. The first step is that they contact me, and then I bring that request to the board. If the board approves it, then they would need to hire their own contractor to remove the beavers and then submit the receipt. And Valley Branch would reimburse up to $500. So that's the request tonight. If the managers approve that request, I'll inform Mr. Smith that that's been done.
And not that it's an issue, but it has come up in the past. They understand that they don't get to keep the beavers or anything, that they're gone. That
That's up to the contractor.
okay, got it.
Do we have any idea how much it generally costs to hire a contractor to do a job like that? Vis-a-vis we're giving them $500. I mean, is it?
Can I mention something? The reason this came about was years ago. It was my suggestion that we engage in beaver control. So allocating this amount to a trapper. And I based that on information from a study that was done in the state of Arkansas. And they had road damage in excess of $25 million with what beavers had done. And we've talked about, with the sending beavers in with the parachutes and all the other things they did. It's clearly a beneficial animal and they do a lot of wonderful things. But in this case, in these cases, we can't have them. So it seemed to me at the time, and everybody agreed that it was cost effective to go ahead and remove the animals rather than to build them out, because that gets outrageously expensive. And that involves, it could be tree removal, fencing, and other things that are done to, mechanically keep the animals from doing what they're doing.
I was just curious if it costs $300 to remove the beavers and we're giving them $500. I just have no idea how much.
No, it's up to.
Oh, it's up to.
For
Okay.
the particular animals.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering in terms of, in terms of, logo, apparel, maybe we ought to think about beaver hats.
When Jill was here, we did talk
logo.
about beaver hats, but to me, it seems after reading something a long time ago, just for fun, I entertained the thought of a buffalo robe, and I saw them. This guy was selling them in Wyoming, and they were $4,500. They must be really something, right? But, yeah, so I thought, okay, so we're gonna engage in that. What must that cost? Because I know something about this sort of stuff, and it's a lot of work.
Well, Bellwin could provide us with the advice.
It could be an education opportunity.
I don't know, somebody who's got a background in that. Yeah, so that's essentially what's going on, so.
So I'll take that as a no.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no beaver hats, although it's quite a pelt. But I love the animals for what they've done. And if you go to the Science Museum, last thing I'll say about that, the Science Museum has wonderful information on the prehistory of those animals. And we had one, yeah, oh yeah, the size of a small car. Not quite a beetle, but, a significant, size to those animals. Okay,
If I may, there is one on display at the Bell Museum.
really? Okay,
Prehistoric beaver. It's crazy how big it is. It's in with the mammoth display.
yeah, a Pleistocene animal, yeah. Imagine that.
Bill Museum, I highly recommend it.
The
Oh,
new,
yeah.
the new.
The new one?
Location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Wow.
Yeah,
really
I
awesome.
mean, to try to
Thank
get
you.
over there.
Yeah, that's exciting stuff. Every time I do, when we were in Colorado, I brought Carrie to the, we were at University of Colorado. And I go, oh, I gotta see the prehistoric stuff. And she was just, okay. You know, I go, but this cat is 55 million years old. You gotta look at the skeleton. All right, you're done, buddy. We're out of here. Okay. That's all we have on that. Do we need any, do we need to make a motion for this? Yes. Yes, okay. So I'll make a motion to approve the hiring of a trapper to address the plugging issues at the Weber Pond and removal. There's nothing written here on that.
Mr. President, that's the second item that I haven't talked with you about yet.
Oh.
It's the same situation. The managers have approved removing debris and packed mud from the Weber Lake outlet that's up in Montemita,
Okay,
in between Echo Lake.
that's an added cost.
And as part of that, the contractor's done some work and the beavers have already come back that the city apparently removed last fall. And so they're packing debris back into the outlet
Right,
and this situation is different than with the individual landowners because this is Valley Branch's infrastructure that's being affected.
oh,
So this memo just documents that, and in this situation, asking to hire the trapper directly from Valley Branch.
Oh, okay.
Watershed District. The other one was with Brandon Smith through your EMP cost share or your beaver cost share renewal program.
oh, okay,
So if
interesting.
you'd like to make a motion to approve cost share program grant to Brandon Smith, that would be appropriate.
I'll make a motion to approve Brandon Smith for our cost share program to remove the said rodents, the beavers.
Second,
It's been moved and seconded.
Aye.
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 Now, one more thing regarding the repair of what those animals have done, that's something that's going to be done. Are we gonna be billed for that or?
That's something that is already included in the contract that.
Oh, okay, excellent, okay. So that's all we have on that.
So on that one, I guess,
Mhm.
be nice to have a motion on that, and that one, we do have a paper copy in that blue box.
Okay,
Yeah, okay.
so approve the hiring of a trapper to address the plugging issues at the Weber Pond outlet structure for an expected cost of up to and not exceeding $500. Do I have a second?
Second.
So moved and seconded.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
it is approved. Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, we had some people in the past, they go, what are you doing with the beavers? We can put them in your backyard and see what happens. Okay. I got stories. Leave you alone. Okay. So. Wow, tax season's still not over. So will the managers be able to attend the Baytown Community Center for April 9 and 23?
Yes.
2026, yes, we'll have a quorum. Very good. I have
Yeah.
nothing further. Do you have anything regarding managers, Rick?
No,
How about you, John? Nothing?
Nope.
Sir,
For me.
nothing, we're good. One more item. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
So moved and seconded.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
aye.
we're adjourned.